Hello everyone and welcome to this edition of the Bremerton Beat Blast. I'm your host, Kitsap Sun reporter Josh Farley. I'm standing outside of Silver City Brewery here off of Katie Penman Avenue, and as usual, I've got 5 stories that you just got to know about happening in your city this week. Welcome back to the Bremerton Beat Blast for this week, sponsored by the Admiral Theater. Story number 1 on our list is that the Bremerton Brew Fest is back, and it's 2 days this year. Now, I'm outside of Silver City Brewery, which is our largest brewery here in Kitsap County. They brew more than 10,000 barrels of beer each year. I spoke with the Director of Sales and Marketing, Kurt Larson, about what Silver City is excited to bring to the table at this year's Brew Fest.
We get excited every year since the onset about celebrating our beer community over here on the West Sound, and then also bringing in some of our friends from around Washington, because it is a Washington brewery-only festival. And then also the evolution from year to year. Everything's kind of changed, and started out as a street festival, and now we're down in the waterfront. Been there the last couple years, and then this year we're actually going to go to 2 days, which is exciting, and I think it's going to be a hit.
Story number 2, Kitsap Pride is also this weekend. It will be taking place on Saturday. This year is a bit of a somber tone for Pride, which of course you probably are aware of the attacks that occurred in Orlando, Florida at a nightclub last month. I spoke with Michael Goodnow, who is the president of our local Pride, about what this year means to him personally and what people can expect to look forward to at Saturday's event.
So the exciting thing for Kitsap Pride this year is we have Vicky Martinez on our main stage. Vicky Martinez was in the first year of The Voice, and she was the 3rd place finisher. She's from Tacoma, has a great following, sells out at the casino. So we're really excited to have her on our main stage. One of the reasons we're bringing her in this year is because this is our 20th Pride event that we've held in Kitsap County. Everybody's welcome to come down to Kitsap Pride. We'll have vendors and food, and obviously I mentioned the music from the stage. There's, bring chairs and blankets and, plan to spend the day with us.
Story number 3, are you ready to break back out the swimsuits and head down to the Bremerton Fountain Park? It looks like the fountains are finally going to get their fix. State's Department of Health is set to sign off on the paperwork that will get a project that will replace the filtration systems at the fountains rolling, according to Bremerton Mayor Patty Lent. I spoke with Mayor Lent about getting the city's prized fountains again up and running.
This year we've had some problems with the computer system, as well as the types of water and the pH that has to be in there for all those little tykes that want to take and splash. We're now under control. We've got everything in place. We're hoping by the next 3 weeks that we're going to take, and maybe 4 weeks, have the fountains back running. They draw our tourists. They're for people to take and enjoy. We want to have them up and running as soon as we can. So bids are in. We've got supplies order, and we're on it. So watch for those fountains to be turned on. We'll all celebrate when it happens.
Story number 4, more apartments are coming to Bremerton, this time on the city's east side. There's a 160-unit development right past Arby's near Hollis Street. My colleague Tad Suter wrote about it in the pages of the Kitsap Sun last week. The apartment complex joins a number of others that are happening right here in Bremerton, including the built 606 apartments, the Spyglass Hill apartments, which are not quite done yet, and Inhabit, which will open on Burwell Street. And finally, story number 5 this week is about food carts and trucks. Now, if you've been to many other big cities, Seattle, Portland, you might have seen that there's whole blocks devoted to food carts and food trucks. Well, how would you feel about that happening here in Bremerton? City leaders have made some changes in recent weeks, letting the food carts have a little bit easier access into the market. However, they're also looking for a location, a hub, if you will, where these carts and trucks could operate. I spoke with Patrick Weber, who runs the Island Tiki Truck, about what he's hopeful to have happen in the months ahead and how he'd like to have more competition and not less.
I am hoping Bremerton will open up a pod where multiple trucks and carts will be able to plug in. We'll have garbage, electric service, and parking for customers. That will drive to a destination and have a variety of food.
That's going to do it for this edition of the Bremerton Beat Blast. I hope you have a great rest of your week. The Bremerton Beat Blast will be off next week, so we'll see you again in 2 weeks.